Well, it's still a little foggy out. Boy, it was really foggy when I first got up, 5:30 this morning. You couldn't even see the cemetery from out the kitchen window. But it's clearing off. And it's 9 a.m. Yeah, we're getting a little late. But as for those of you who have followed our weather, yeah, it's been a bumpy, rough and stormy time here for the last 2 days. And they say some more may be coming in from the west over Texas way. Oh, well, there you are, friend and family. So good to see you again on this Friday, June the 16th. And yeah, we have survived, and it is quite wet. I think yesterday morning, when I did get out for a little bit in between wave and wave and wave of storms and torrential rainfall, we had 1.9 inches in the rain gauge yesterday morning. And then it just continued, as most of you know. And there were tornadoes in some areas of central Alabama, as well as South Alabama, into the panhandle of Florida, and I'm thinking even Georgia as well, maybe even South Carolina. Of course, we all know yesterday, later in the afternoon, Oklahoma and Texas had tornadoes as well. So welcome to the South. Like I say, it's not for the faint of heart. No, it's not. And it's not like other areas don't have typical weather too on occasion. It's just every day, late spring into summer and fall weather for us. And they're saying, if you can believe them, that this year is going to be rougher than the years before. We'll just have to wait to see, because if I remember right, they always say that. But hey, let's take a walkabout and see how things fared through all the torrential rainfall and storms that we had here in my little piece of paradise in the deep south of Alabama. You coming? You coming? Really? Just sort of loping along. Spooky, you cleaning up, morning cleanup on aisle 7. Speedy, come on. Yeah, she's gonna go hang out with her brother. I don't blame him. And as always, we'll start here with the blueberries. Well, not as always. And you can just see more and more starting to ripen up. And like I told you a couple of days ago, the berries are loving all this rainfall. They're really starting to plump. Yes, they are. I'm getting a little bit worried about them. But now, not so much. We're going to have a pile of them. And of course, on occasion, the birds get one too. Look right there. But that's okay. We got plenty to share. And there's no better thing to come out on your home place, whether you got a small urban, suburban, or country yard, and eat right from your shrubs. Back in the day, they called it edible landscaping. Now they call it foodscaping. Yeah, either way, it's all good. Oh yeah. Those are plump. Also sweet. Whew, they crisp this morning. Yeah, they got some crunch. I like that. We'll come back after all of y'all leave. Hey, don't none of you stay behind, be picking all the blueberries. You can have some. Don't get them all, okay? Now, let's see what we got in the rain gauge today. Oh. Woo! What is it? We got us right at 1.8 inches. Yeah, that's just a tenth less than what we got yesterday on Thursday. So we're now, in the matter of what, 3 days, way ahead for the month of June. You see how fast things change? We were in a drought, as was apparently most of the country, and now we're ahead. No more drought. Will it hold out? Who knows? We'll just have to wait to see as the year goes on. Don't waste it. Put it in the bed where it's needed. Yeah, collars are looking tired. I did notice, because I was thinking about saving some seed, and I checked some of this seed pods from the collards, and lo and behold, there's no seed in it. Not in area 1. Didn't even get pollinated, is all I can guess. Oh well. We can always get more seed or more plants, just like we did here. Lasted all through the winter, all winter, and springtime too. And for all intents and purposes, it's still carrying on here in June. What are y'all two doing up there with Alice? Is that your new buddy? What are you doing, Spooky? Speedy? You up there waiting to take a ride with Alice? Okay, well, y'all don't wait till my back's turned and jump in and go somewhere without me, okay? I don't like it when you two get out driving by yourselves. Y'all are reckless. So y'all hang in there till Papa comes back, and then maybe we can all take a ride, okay? Okay? Look me in the eyes. Well, maybe not. We'll just leave them to their morning chores, which apparently is cleaning up. Yeah, we're down here on the south lawn. And yeah, it's damp, but at least no standing water. I mean, after each wave of that rain, water was standing everywhere. I thought for a minute we were going to have to get a boat. Ooh, the tire planters are looking good. Got more kale than I can use. Some of the lower leaves, you know, they're getting a little bit trashed. But that's okay too. I can't eat all this. Nah, it's just what, 5 plants? How many plants is in there? Y'all remember? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's actually 8 stuck on in there. It just keeps going. Yes, it does. Grass is greening up nicely now. It's loving all the rain too. But with all the rain, sort of slows us down on getting the clearing done and the gardening going, but that's okay. We've been doing house chores. Plus, yesterday, in between raindrops, and that I got out here, and if you'll notice, you know, we replaced some timbers on this old raised bed. Yep. Found us a fairly nice one over there in the timber pile, right there. Didn't hardly have any rot on it. That'll last for some years. Yep. And this is where we stopped. We had a really rotten one over here, and I went and picked out a not so rotten one out of the pile. I was about ready to cut it and put it in place, and the rain chased me out again. Yeah. I mean, here's the one I replaced, the long one. You can see. Yep. After about 25 years, or 20 or more, pretty much was gone. As was the end one right here. But I think I got my money's worth out of them. Yeah, considering I only paid back then, I think it was $1.99 for an 8-foot landscape timber. Yeah, can you imagine? I think now they're what, $6.99, $8.99? Yeah, so I'm going to be digging out all the good ones I can find out of that there pile where James and I stacked it up when we took the north side fence down. And I'll make a few more raised beds. You know, I'm getting old. We're older, and having a confined area to just, you know, garden in. I'm not going to raise everything I eat. I just like to raise enough to be happy. Add a little fresh to my diet. So that was a project. Maybe we'll finish it up today. Got to find some long screws so I can screw them all back in. Yeah, because I replaced that other one down there on that other end. And I'll get a few more years out of this old bed. I mean, I've been getting years and years out of it now for, like I say, over 20 years. Just by replacing timbers over time. I think I've only done it, this will be the third time. And normally, it's just these top timbers. When I rebuilt it in 2018, I did the top two timbers and left the foundation timber. Because there's actually three timbers all the way around. One's nearly at ground level, so it could all be leveled. Instead of like you see on some YouTube channels where the bed is cattywampus. You know, it's not nice and level. You know, and that's fine. But being an engineer and a little bit OCD, I want mine level. Maybe you do too. It's a lot more work to do it though. But yeah, until we get that pile burn off, of course that's going to be a while too because it's soaking wet and green. We got time to get this one fixed up. And we're going to head on out and see if we can find some cheap dirt. Because it needs about 6-inch of fill dropped into it. Because if you have raised beds, you'll understand. Yep, something happens. You can fill them all the way up to the top. And of course, it'll rain and compact it. You can fill it again until where, you know, the soil's fairly, not, you know, jam-packed, compacted, but packed down some. And magically, over a year or two, you'll lose 3 to 4 inches. No matter how much you fluff it up, you don't get them back. Yeah, the plants use it up. The organic matter that's in your soil continues to decompose. Yeah, and it all sinks right on down. At least that's what my raised beds have been doing for the whole time I've had them. Now we're over here at the new tomato planting, which we're going to call the debris pile / burn pile planting area. I think we'll just call it the DP planting area. Yeah, the debris pile. But the tomatoes are looking fine. They didn't suffer much damage from the torrential rain, even though there was a little bit of hail in there a time or two. Not much. You'll see some damage on some of the leaves when we get on over to the old clothesline pole plant. And this is going to be an area where, even though it was a burn pile and a debris pile, yeah, by stirring it all up with that skid steer and me raking it and getting all the big stuff out of it, I disturbed the ground quite a bit. And you can see there's a lot of new little seedlings popping up, and that's not veg. That's going to be some type of weeds. So we're going to have quite a weed population. And plus, I mean, this ground hasn't seen direct sunlight in, well, what, 5-6 years? It's always had a pile on top of it. Even when you burn it down, that had a pile of ash. And of course, we immediately, because there's always sticks and branches here with all the trees, yep, it wouldn't be long before it was all covered right back up again. That's been its life now. I mean, right now, it's living a whole new life. Not only is it not covered with, all kinds of limb and tree debris and leaves and vegetation, but it's also seeing bright sunshine that it hasn't seen in a couple of centuries, because as you know, the big oak is down. Well, it's down all except for the pillar. Yeah, it's sort of like one of those big monuments, I'm thinking. The birds love it, and so do the squirrels, and the kitties love it too. They'll go racing up it. Can't get to the top, but they'll get on up to right up to those there first cut off limbs, and before they come screeching on back down. Yeah, so the tomatoes are loving it. They really are. No transplant shock, no nothing. Yeah, I mean, if you can plant right before rain and it doesn't come hail and everything else, high winds and that, it allows your plants, because it's overcast, it's always a little bit cooler, which it has been the last 2 days. Wednesday, I think our high got up to 78. Yesterday, most of the day, it was barely in the 70s, and then by late afternoon, it finally did get up to 78. Today, they say it's going to get up to 88, and we're at 99% humidity. Of course, they're saying it's going to rain in about 2 hours. We'll see. I'm sure at some point in time it will rain, the way the sky looks, because it is supposed to be partly sunny or partly cloudy, as they say, and it's heavily overcast. We haven't seen the partly cloudy or partly sunny that's in the forecast yet today, but it's early. Yes, it is. Well, I see that oak tree limb that was hung up in the Japanese maple finally fell on out. We'll have to get that and bring it over to the pile. And of course, the compost pile with the volunteer tomato plants in it. Yeah, there's 2 over here. Well, there's one right there. Looking fine. We need to stake up, of course. Oh, look at there. You know, whether you get squash or not, squash blossoms are extremely beautiful, aren't they? I've always thought so. And you know what? You can eat them things. Over in Japan, they love them. They'll take them and they dip them in tempura batter. Ooh, and give them a quick fry. And they are yummo. They surely are. I had some when I was over there. Ooh, that one's getting pretty nice. Almost bigger than my hand. Yeah, that one's coming along nicely too. Yeah, it's got an eggshell right beside it. See, I bring my eggshells out here. Put everything in the compost pile. Coffee grounds, eggshells, it's all in there somewhere. Oh, and that one there's coming along nicely too. Yeah, it's almost the size of my hand. So I got 3 nice ones on it. Oh, look at that blossom. Ooh, that's beautiful too. Oh, looky. Well, that's a male. That other one, I think, was a female. Let's go check her out just to make sure. No, that's a male too, see? No baby squash on the end. Nope. Oh, I found some more next to this other tomato plant. See down there? There's one right there and one right there. Those are female blossoms. So if they got pollinated or get pollinated, there'll be 2 more. That'll be 5 squash on this volunteer vine. Can't beat that. And that's from the seed of the squash that I planted, grew, harvested, and ate last year. And here we are over at the remnants of those 4 tomato plants out of that 6-pack that was bought first week of March. And you can see some new growth right there. Some more right here. So hey, they may survive. Oh, I see some more new growth right down here, since I just stuck them in there. So I'll water them. I think I'm going to let them run on top of my drying grass and leaf litter here. You know, it's like straw or hay. And let them just run across it. What do you think? because I'm a little bit low on T-posts. Got 4 over there, and I think I got 3 over by the house. Yeah. I'm going to be needing at least 6 for my 8 tomato plants down there. And I got 2 more tomatoes to put in the ground, the cherry ones. Plus I got 6 green bell peppers to plant. So I'm going to have to come up with some support for all that. And I'll just have to check around and see where I may have some more of those T-posts hiding away. And the peppers over here are doing marvelous. Yeah, they're full of potential blossoms. That sweet banana is. And this sweet banana over here that was looking so bad, oh, it's got some potential blossoms up top too. See right here? And it's looking so much healthier and happier since we put it in the ground. And like I showed you, it's already got a baby pepper right there. The cucumber, this is the burpless bush hybrid from Bonnie. It's doing fine. It's got tendrils now, so I got to get some string put up so it can grab a hold of, climb to the sky. And I know this is a bush, but you're going to see it climb. Trust me, they will. Now here I'm wanting to show you. You see these holes right here in the leaf? See that? That's not something eating it. That's not bug or insect damage. That right there is hail damage. Yeah. We didn't have a lot, we just had a little. And it wasn't very big. Yeah, about the size of the end of my pinky. And it wasn't too much of it, thankfully. And it only lasted for like, oh, maybe 10 seconds. And the way those storms were moving, it was past me. And I was thankful for it, because that hail will destroy everything you planted rapidly. I've had it happen on an occasion, a time or two. Whew, the poblano. Yes, sir. It's got some blossoms up there too forming. I'm thinking we're going to have plenty of hot peppers. And of course, lunchbox is coming on strong. It's already got peppers and got more blossoms. Peppers are sizing up nice down in there. No, I do got a bean plant up. Look at here. Of course, it's not one we stuck in the ground. It's one that fell off, you know, as they were drying on vines during the late fall and early winter. Yep. Sometimes the seed pods crack and you lose a few. Well, that's definitely a bean plant. It'll need a pole. We'll fix it up. It'll look a little weird, but it'll be okay. And I still don't see nothing coming up where I planted my seed over here on Saturday, but I'm seeing some evidence that they're on their way. Let me show you right here. You see right here? That ground's cracked up. And if you look down in there, you can see it. See right there? See that little bent over stem? That is bean sign. I was getting a little worried that my seed may not be that good. But I did plant them a little bit deeper than normal. Yep, trying to emulate what they do with the commercial growers. Because hey, when you're growing for money, you gotta grow right. That's your livelihood. Yeah, gardening, you lose a garden, it can make you feel bad, and it can be a tragedy on your food budget. But it's not your living. That's why I tend to gravitate with what the commercial growers do. Not in all ways, but in some ways. Because they're going to try to do their very best to make a living off of what they grow for us to eat. Whether you agree with how they do it or not, that's all up to you. They have some good practices, as well as some that people don't want anymore. You know, that gets back to, if you don't like it, don't buy it. But then we'll go down here and take a look at the cucumbers. Kitty Crew experiment between heirloom and hybrid. And we do got some bug damage down here, but it's more of a snail damage. Now, I'm willing to bet that's, slug damage, because I can see the remnants of his sticky mucus right there on the leaf. So I'm definitely going to have to come out here at night. I've been threatening to, but it's been storming and I just didn't want to. But slugs will climb up, especially on certain plants with nice tender yummy leaves, which cucumbers are one, and they'll eat them up, especially at the early seedling stages. Now these were plants that I stuck here, not seedlings. So I thought, you know, the slugs wouldn't like them too much. But I guess I was wrong. They are liking them. And you can see more of that damage right here. And that's like I've told you many times. If you can't find a bug, caterpillar, or nothing on it all day long, it's most likely slugs or snails coming in the wee hours of the night. Yep, I've got to get out here and I get to seeing if it's them and take the appropriate action. You know, they do like to party with some beer. Yeah, they love beer. They love it so much they'll slide right on into the little bowl and drink themselves to death. Yes, they will. At least they go happy. That's the way to do it, right? But yep, as far as climbing, the heirloom is getting ahead of the burpless bush hybrid. But that's only because it's got nothing to grab a hold of yet. I've been threatening to put another string across here and I just ain't done it. I'm gonna do it today. Yeah, as soon as y'all leave, we get done talking. And I'm sure all through this little walkabout, after the storms, you've heard my little feathered friends. They're just so happy. They're beside themselves. And we'll end this right here with the pig. It's been loving it too. The pigs are plumping up nice. See right there? Yeah, they're getting nice and big, gonna be juicy too. I'll have to really keep a close eye on them, or the birds will beat me to them. I don't mind them getting a few, but they can't have them all. Man, if you are not raising pigs in your place, you should really think about putting you some in, at least one, if not two. Two for better pollination and fruit set. But see, pigs are all around me because there's 1, 2 houses down, big huge one. A lot of these homes, people put pigs, at least 1 or 2, in their backyards, and many of them still exist. So I've got pollinators right close to me. I mean, look at all them pigs. They're just everywhere now. And like I'm telling y'all, make sure you mulch the feet of at least your pigs. Very shallow rooted, as I've shown you. This will pay dividends in the health of your tree and in the amount of pigs you get every year. I mean, it feeds it, it keeps its feet cool, i.e. its roots. That's 2 extremely important aspects of mulch. Yeah, it may not look so glamorous, you know, it's not all red or black or green like you see on Good Housekeeping, but to me, it looks beautiful. All those leaves intermixed with all those grass clippings. I mean, it's almost a perfect ratio. to start a compost pile. So I know it's going to feed the pig all throughout the year, just like it has every year. Now I got to trim this oak tree back some too. It's starting to encroach on the pig. I'm getting down, whacking me in the head too. So there you have it. Now that's the old home place, our little piece of paradise in the deep south of Alabama. After the storm, we all made it through. And I hope wherever you are in this great country of ours or in the world, you made it through too, with no damage to your homes or injuries or loss of life. And if you just thought the Kitty Crew wasn't so happy to have Alice in their life, I want you to look at this picture. Here they all are. Well, all but Cleo. They're Spooky, Speedy, and Mr. Gray. It's okay. They won't hurt it. They'll treat it just fine. So y'all, I gotta head on in, finish cleaning up a little bit, and then I'm gonna be running over, checking on some soil prices, and that, to get that one raised bed topped off. I may not be growing in it for a few weeks till I can get that burn pile burn off, but at least I want to have it ready for when I do. And I'm not sure what I'll put in it. Maybe you can give me some suggestions too. Until I, you know, the Kitty Crew, you've seen some of them there. Spooky, Speedy, old Mr. Gray, Cleo. Sometimes he's put a little Gracie too. See y'all on that next video. Y'all take care. Stay safe out there. Yep. And I do hope all of you fare well in the weather events to come. We need to pray for those who got damage, and hopefully no one lost lives. I haven't kept up with it that much, but if they have, my heart breaks for them, and I pray for them and their families. But remember, may you be blessed by God as you bless those in your lives. Goodbye for now. Got to get in and get ready to go. Check out some things. I guess the Kitty Crew wants to go too. That'll be fine. There's plenty of room in Alice. Hey y'all, I'll be out in a few minutes, so get ready. We're gonna head to Walmart, okay? Garden Center. Yeah, and if you're good, we may, you know, head over to the pet center, pick up some treats. You hearing me? Okay. Yeah, like they'll pay any attention.